Who's paying for Trump tariffs? Impact on American consumers and businesses. Who really bears the financial burden of Donald Trump's tariffs? The answer is clear: it's predominantly the American businesses and consumers. Just recently, General Motors Company became the latest company to reveal the impact of these tariffs, stating that the additional duties have cost them over $1 billion, a significant hit they decided to absorb instead of passing it on to their customers. This situation sheds light on a larger issue. While car prices remained stable in the latest inflation report, other items, such as toys and household appliances, saw drastic price hikes due to these added costs, indicating that consumers are feeling the heat from tariff-related expenses. This dynamic raises an important question: are these tariffs truly beneficial, or are they merely shifting the financial load onto everyday Americans? Stay tuned, as this is where the discussion gets contentious. Many people assume that tariffs only affect foreign imports, but that perception overlooks the ripple effects experienced domestically. What do you think? Should consumers shoulder these costs, or should businesses adjust their profit margins instead? Share your thoughts in the comments. Tariffs' impact on U.S. companies, absorbing costs or passing to consumers? Imagine your favorite American company suddenly facing a billion-dollar bill, seemingly out of nowhere. That's the reality many U.S. businesses are grappling with right now, thanks to tariffs imposed during the Trump administration. But here's the twist: you, the consumer, aren't feeling the pinch yet. Several major companies, including automotive giants General Motors, GM, and Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep, have publicly stated that tariffs are significantly impacting their financial performance. GM, for instance, reported a staggering $1.1 billion hit in a recent earnings report and anticipates a potential full-year impact of $4 billion to $5 billion. Their net income for the second quarter plummeted by over 34% year-over-year, despite a 7.3% increase in U.S. sales during the same period. Stellantis also reported absorbing around $350 million in tariff costs during the first half of the year. David Beery, a public policy professor at Virginia Tech, aptly describes the situation: currently automakers are essentially subsidizing car buyers for now, and these tariff costs are eating into their profitability. And that's definitely not sustainable. In essence, these companies are choosing to absorb the extra costs rather than immediately passing them on to consumers in the form of higher prices. GM has explicitly stated they haven't raised vehicle prices due to tariffs. Erin Keating, an executive analyst at Cox Automotive, paints a vivid picture of what's to come, calling it the big squeeze. She highlights the growing disconnect between rising costs for automakers and dealers and relatively stable consumer prices. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a temporary act of goodwill, or a ticking time bomb for consumers' wallets? Some car dealers are already seeing a surge in customers eager to buy before prices potentially increase. Robert Fogarty, a Maryland car dealer, noted a significant uptick in dealership traffic in April, with people rushing to lock in current prices. The uncertainty surrounding the future of tariffs is making it difficult for businesses to manage their inventory and customer expectations. A report from the intelligence firm AlixPartners suggests that automakers are likely to eventually pass on a significant portion, around 80%, of the tariff costs to consumers. This could mean a noticeable increase in the price of new vehicles in the near future. Beery emphasizes the unsustainable nature of the current situation. You can grow sales or protect profits on the tariffs, but you can't do it indefinitely. In the short run, profits will soften. In the long run, consumers will pay higher prices. He considers GM a canary in the coal mine, suggesting that their struggles are a warning sign for the broader industry. And this is the part most people miss. GM's reliance on foreign production makes them particularly vulnerable to tariffs. Data from Global Data reveals that GM imported more vehicles into the U.S. than many of its competitors in 2024, with almost half of their U.S. sales consisting of imported vehicles. GM is attempting to mitigate the impact of tariffs, announcing a $4 billion investment in U.S. assembly plants. However, these plants won't be fully operational for about 18 months, according to CEO Mary Barra. It's worth noting that the tariffs in question stem from the Trump administration, with the former president even stating he couldn't care less if vehicle prices rise as a result. While there have been some adjustments to the auto and auto parts tariff policy since then, the core issue remains. The impact of tariffs extends beyond the auto industry. Oil services provider Halliburton reported a $27 million reduction in profits due to tariffs in the second quarter. Bossard Group, a Swiss fastener manufacturer, cited tariffs and market uncertainty as contributing to a decline in demand. Unlike some U.S. companies, Bossard is actively passing on price increases to its customers, ranging from 10% to 30%. You can imagine that's not a walk in the park, CEO Daniel Bossard said. General Electric anticipates a $500 million net impact from tariffs in 2025, assuming reciprocal tariffs are implemented. The company plans to offset this through cost controls and pricing strategies. Economists and industry experts believe it's still too early to see the full impact of tariffs on consumer prices. Some companies stocked up on inventory in anticipation, while others are still receiving goods that were in transit when the tariffs were imposed. Many companies may be absorbing the costs to avoid alienating consumers already burdened by inflation. Uncertainty surrounding the permanence of the tariffs and fear of potential backlash may also be deterring companies from raising prices. As Justin Wolfers, an economics and public policy professor at the University of Michigan, points out, the former president directly addressed companies, influencing their actions. Industry observers doubt that automakers will raise prices by the full 25% tariff amount, as it would likely cripple sales. With the average manufacturer suggested retail price for autos around $50,000 in June, a $10,000 price increase could be devastating, according to Ivan Drury, Edmunds' director of insights. Instead, automakers may gradually incorporate tariff costs into the rollout of new models, bundling them with new features to soften the blow of higher prices. Francesco Bianchi, an economics professor at Johns Hopkins University, notes that cars are durable goods that consumers can postpone purchasing. This may make automakers more willing to absorb short-term profit losses, knowing that there's a limit to how much prices can be adjusted. So, what does all of this mean for you? Are we on the verge of seeing significant price increases on cars and other goods? Will companies continue to absorb the costs, or will they eventually pass them on to consumers? And what are the long-term implications of these tariffs for the U.S. economy? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Do you think these tariffs are a necessary evil, or a burden on American businesses and consumers? Let's discuss.